It's time to fire this thing up.
Welcome aboard ShipShape TV Essentials. This is your port of call for the most impactful upgrades, expert advice, and hands-on solutions from seasons past. This episode is proudly brought to you by SureHold, because anything worth doing is worth doing bright. From cleaning to protecting and perfecting, SureHold has everything you need to keep your boat shining. Don't just go boating, go showboating. Now, let's hoist anchor and set a course for another exciting episode of ShipShape TV Essentials.
If boating's your game, then you'll agree. ShipShape is the way to be. Out on the lake or on the sea, ShipShape means trouble-free. ShipShape means being neater. ShipShape makes boat work easier. ShipShape is the way to go. The ShipShape Boat Care Show.
ShipShape, South Florida's only boat improvement show, is being brought to you in part by Stella Marine, a crest above the rest.
Thanks for tuning in to ShipShape, the Boat Improvement Show. I'm John Greviskis, and this is my partner, Mr. Boatman himself, Burt Dell.
Howdy, folks.
Today we're going to take a closer look at the transmission on larger vessels, in particular, a new product on the market called the Pleasure Lock Trolling System.
The Pleasure Lock trolling system allows you to enhance your trolling speed at idle.
And as always, if there's a suggestion that you'd like to see us cover here at ShipShape, write us a letter or send us a fax.
Write your project suggestions to ShipShape, the TV show. Attention Project Director, Post Office Box 31561, Palm Beach Gardens, Florida 33420. Or fax us at area code 407-626-4348.
And when we come back, we'll introduce you to Dick Moroso, the owner of Moroso Motorsports Park, who owns this 61-foot Tribute Marine. We'll be putting in a Pleasure Lock trolling system in this boat today.
Don't touch that dial. ShipShape will be right back.
Hi, Dick. Thanks for having us out today.
My pleasure.
Now, when you're talking about a boat this size, a trolling valve's an option. Is that correct?
That's correct. You can buy the gears, the marine gears, with or without trolling valves.
Mm-hmm. Now, what's the advantage of the trolling valve?
Well, the advantage of the trolling valve is to slow the boat down at idle. This boat's very fast. It goes over 50 miles an hour. And the downside to that is it idles at 10 knots or thereabouts. And 10 knots is way too fast for live bait fishing or operating in a no-wake zone and other things.
Now, how did you find out about the Pleasure Lock trolling valve system?
Well, I'm a pretty good researcher, and I went to all the boat shows, read all the literature I could get, interviewed all the manufacturers, and for my needs, I felt the Pleasure Lock was the best that I could get. And you know, the little bit of time I've been running the boat, I am very happy with them. They work just like they're supposed to.
Well, in a minute, we're going to meet Andre, the president of Pleasure Lock Trolling Systems. Dick, thanks so much for being on ShipShape.
My pleasure.
All right, Burt, do we know what a trolling valve is?
Actually, Andre, I really don't.
Let's start off with the basics. The trolling valve is an option that's available through the transmission manufacturer. It's an accessory that's usually a bolt-on item. And do you understand how the hydraulic transmissions work?
I understand how a transmission works, but I don't understand the trolling valve.
Okay. Well, we've got a transmission on this boat, and what it does is it uses hydraulic pressure to compress clutch packs together in the transmission. And what that does is it takes the motion from the flywheel, okay, and it transfers it through the transmission to the propeller. Now, if we've got a transmission that's got about, say, 300 pounds of pressure in it, and we put a trolling valve on that transmission, we can actually take that transmission pressure and bring it down to, say, 20 or 30 pounds with the use of a trolling valve. Now, what that does is, instead of putting 300 pounds of pressure on the clutch packs to give us motion, forward or reverse motion, what we now have is 20 or 30 pounds trying to force the clutch packs together. And since it can't fully engage the clutches, the engine will stay the same speed, but since the clutches are slipping, the propeller will go slower. So as we vary the pressure on the clutch pack with the trolling valve, we can attain different speeds in the water. Now, an important thing we want to remember is that you never want to exceed what the transmission manufacturer recommends as a speed when using the trolling valve. Now, the RPMs are usually limited to 1,000 or 1,200 RPMs. Now, taking all that into consideration, how do you use a trolling valve effectively and safely? This is the system that'll do it. Pleasure lock trolling systems. It's a mechanical system to give you high reliability, to be easy to use, and we offer it in different versions to fit different applications. If you've got a smaller 26, 30-foot boat, or up to 70, 80-foot boat, this will fit right into it. Now, to show you just a few of the accessories we have, this is our display. We take this to the boat shows. This first unit that we're looking at, this is all fully mechanical, and what we have is an accessory. This accessory will bolt on a hydraulic throttle actuator right to it. We supply the bracket and the linkage hookups and the information to make it easy to use. It's basically a bolt-on device. You take this equipment off of your engine normally. This is normally on your engine throttle, so it's hooked to a bracket on your engine. You can eliminate all that. You don't have to get into that. Just take this out of the box from the manufacturer, hydraulic, bolt it on here. You don't have to make any brackets, figure out any geometry, no math. We give you the linkage. We tell you what holes to put the pivot pins in to give you 3-inch throttle, 2 3/8, 1-inch throttle. It's very simple. You hook up your hydraulic lines, bleed it, put on your hydraulic head. You've got your hydraulic throttle hooked up as far as this goes. The other hookup to the throttle on the engine is a simple cable. Use any cable you want. There's a bunch of different manufacturers out there. It's a very simple hookup. A cable clamp will hold the cable to the engine bracket, and a simple pivot pin or swivel joint will complete the installation of the throttle. The other portion of that, of course, would be the trolling valve. The trolling valve hookup. You've got either a push-to-open trolling valve lever or a pull-to-open trolling valve lever. This can be either or. The same thing with the throttles. The throttle can be push-to-open or it can be pull-to-open. So it can be either or. It's a very flexible unit. It's designed to be used with whatever you have, basically. Any mechanical or hydraulic system, it'll just work right with it. What we do, basically, is we offer 2 panels for the basic unit. This panel, the 1001, is for a single engine, single trolling valve. And the 1002 is for port and starboard, which is 2 engines, 2 trolling valves. And since we're only using one display, we only have one indicator on the 2-light system, or the port and starboard system. Basically, when we open the trolling valve with the T-handle, that's how this system was hooked up, with a T-handle control, which comes in from here to here. Okay? When I pull this open, the light changes from green to red, and my trolling valve opens. At the same time, it also limits my throttling. If you try to throttle that up and you forgot, you're locked out. You're locked out. Now, as I close the trolling valve, the green light comes on and you throttle up. Now, I'll try to open my trolling valve and it's locked out.
On that end.
Right. So it's a double lockout system, and it's very easy to use.
Don't float away. ShipShape will be right back.
Surehold brushes are the go-to choice worldwide for quality deck brushes, featuring split-end bristles that hold more soap and water for effortless and effective cleaning, an iconic solid wood block that is exceptionally durable and long-lasting, a rubber
built-in safety bumper that protects surrounding surfaces from accidental damage, corrosion-resistant fittings made from marine-grade alloys that will never rust or corrode, SureLock system compatibility for positive locking into any SureHold handle, quickly and easily change brushes while saving space and time. Each SureHold brush is proudly built in the USA to SureHold's famous quality standards. SureHold, clean and simple.
On Dick's boat, he decided that he wanted to use a pleasure lock trolling system. He looked at a lot of systems and he decided that this would fit in best for his needs. Now he used the electric assist. This can be 12 or 24 volts. You specify what it is. I think on Dick's boat it's 24 volts. So he's got this system. The difference between these two systems is this system operates the trolling valve with a T-handle, okay?
So this is all manual, and this is electrical. That's the only difference between the two?
Exactly, and this one's electrical. Now, electrical can come in very handy, depends on the trolling valve and the length of cable between the trolling valve and the bridge. If you've got a long cable run from the trolling valve to the bridge and you want to use the T-handle, it can be very hard depending on the bends and the length of the cable.
Because you're pushing a lot of cable to get to your destination.
Pushing or pulling. Actually, the lever itself on the trolling valve can require a high amount of foot-pounds to actually open it because it has a detent on it, much like neutral on a transmission does.
Yeah.
But it's more so because you really want to know when it's closed. So it's a square cut spring and it's very hard to get off the detent to open it. So that's where this comes in nice because your finger won't know how much pressure it's pulling, okay? Right. Because this is doing the work, you're just making this do the work for you. So now I can open my trolling valve with one finger. Now again, we have different needs for different boats. So what we have here is we have a single engine electric system or two engine electric system. And basically it's all fingertip operation. Red light tells me I'm trolling. How fast I'm trolling depends on how far I open my trolling valve. Now when I'm trolling, if I go to throttle up and I forget, I'm locked out. I am locked out. So what I want to do is I want to close my trolling valve. Now it's very easy to close. Within a few seconds it's closed. It automatically stops. Even if you're pushing on it, it will disengage by itself. No need to worry about burning anything up. As I throttle up, my trolling valve becomes locked out. So it's a double lockout system. Very easy to use, basically no maintenance. Very easy to adjust if you need to adjust your throttle or your trolling valve. You could come right to this unit as a central unit and make your adjustments here, as opposed to climbing over the top of the engine or climbing in the back of a gear, trying to make the adjustments there.
So this system is a very safe and very user-friendly system.
Yes, it is. Now, if you've got a T-handle control on your boat now, it could be a small boat or a large boat, and you're using a T-handle control, sometimes you'll get into a situation whereas you're fishing and you're with enough people on board and you're catching enough fish that one thing happens and another, and you want to move the boat and you throttle up and you go beyond that threshold, that safe threshold, 1,000 or 1,200 RPMs, boom, the damage is done. The damage is done. It happens very fast.
I guess it didn't take very long to do it either.
No, it doesn't. You'd be surprised. And that's where this system comes in very handy. Like I said, there's really no maintenance to it. It's virtually flat, fits in the engine room overhead. No need to worry about it. And it's always working for you. In other words, you never see this. All you will see is a control panel. And that's it. It's a great system. All right, Burt, let's jump on Dick's boat and I'll show you how we install one of these.
Great.
Burt, we've landed the 5-conductor wire here from the panel up above. And we've also connected our disconnect for the synchronizer.
Right.
As soon as we go into the trolling mode, our synchronizer will stop. It will stop working. And when we close the trolling valve on both units, the synchronizer will re-engage automatically.
Okay.
On Dick's boat, this MTU engine, they also use the gear oil alarm cutout switches that we have. So when we're using the trolling valve, and we have no gear pressure, the alarm will not activate because they've used the cutout switches that are on the unit.
Oh, okay.
So let's go ahead and land the trolling valve terminal eye on the pivot pin there.
All right. Let's see, line it on that thing here.
Got
Hold it. Yeah, you got an E-clip?
Yeah, there you go.
There we go. Get it slid up here. Okay, it's there.
All right. Now let's take the helm control cable and we'll slip it onto the pivot pin. Yeah, get a slight turn to it.
Yeah, there it is.
Push it on till it fully seats. It has to go up just a little bit more. There you go.
There we go. Put it on the second one.
Yeah.
Okay, that snapped in place.
That's very
The
nice.
same with this one here, right?
And that's the last cable which actually connects the engine throttle to our unit. And that will complete our throttle hookup and our trolling valve hookup mechanically down here.
Okay.
And we'll get the E-clips all in.
Yeah, they're all in and seated.
All right. So now we can go up top and put it into motion.
All right, great. Let's go take a look at it.
All right, Burt, now that we've completed our installation down below, we want to check the system out. We turn the power on, we have the green lights, we're ready to go. First thing we do is engage the trolling valve, went from red to green. Now, we take the control, single lever control, we push it in forward gear, and we try to throttle up. It won't throttle up, that's good. Now, we close the trolling valve, goes from red to green. Trolling valve should be closed. Now I should be able to throttle. And I can. Good. Last test, try to open the trolling valve. It will not open, it stays green. That's real good. So that would complete it. Now we just go for a sea trial.
Chapman's Corner is brought to you by Chapman School of Seamanship.
Today on Chapman's Corner, we want to take a look at Type 3 and 4 personal flotation devices. The PFD that I have here is a Type 3. It's the type worn by water skiers, children. It's the most popular type of personal flotation device because it's very stylish, very easy to put on, and very comfortable. The thing you have to keep in mind with this, though, is the fact that it will not float an unconscious person from face down to face up in the water. On the other hand, this is a Type 4 throwable device. This is a type that I'll throw to someone that's in the water that needs help. It's a type that someone can swim to. Basically, it's a type of personal flotation device that is a very simple type of device. In any case, depending on what the rules and regulations are for the size vessel that you're on, that will dictate what type of PFD you need. From Chapman School of Seamanship, this is Tom Bounte.
With me today is Bob Stella, the owner of Stella Marine. Bob, thanks so much for having us out today.
Good to see you always, John.
Now, what boat are we going to be taking a look at?
We're going to look at the new 43 Cockpit Carver Motor Yacht.
That's a nice boat.
It's a great boat. It's a boat that does a lot of things for a lot of people.
Now, Carver is built by Janmar, which is also the parent company to Hatteras, is that correct?
That's correct, right.
Now, what's different about the 43 Cockpit boat?
Well, what's different about the boat, you've got a motor yacht, which has 2 staterooms, 2 heads. You've got a beautiful salon, a dinette down. In addition to it, you have a cockpit on the back. Okay, now the cockpit can be used for fishing, diving. It has a transom door. It has sliding doors off the aft cabin. But the big thing about the boat also, with a cockpit on the boat, it accommodates another 150 gallons of fuel.
So what does that increase your range to?
Well, it gives you another 8-9 hours of running time.
Well, that's great.
You know?
That's great. So if you're into the more elegant side of boating, which is what the motor yacht's about, but you still like to fish, the cockpit is really the way to go.
Well, it satisfies the man that wants to fish and wants to dive, and it satisfies the gal who wants that big, beautiful stateroom, as they'll see in the film, with the big island bed and all the accommodations and comfort features of home.
Well, what are some of the other features on this boat, Bob?
Well, the features on the boat is you got a big center console helm up on the bridge. Visibility is tremendous. The aft hardtop gives you a Florida room, call it what you want. You know, an aft deck for when you're cruising. You've got your entertainment center, your ice maker, your refrigerator, your wet bar on the back. The walk around is very, very easy to handle lines. So it's, you know, again, it's user-friendly for the wife, so the husband doesn't have to yell at the wife, get the line on the boat. You know?
Absolutely. Now, what's this vessel powered by, Bob?
This particular boat is powered by Cummins diesels.
Okay.
It's got 300 horsepower. It'll cruise at 23 miles an hour.
Right.
It's very economical. It'll burn probably 16, 18 gallons an hour.
That's great. What kind of generator does she have?
This particular one has a Westerbeek diesel 8.5 generator, KW.
That's fantastic.
Which is more power than it really needs, but of course, if you can work a generator easy, lifetime will be much greater.
What are some of the electronics that you could have with this boat, Bob?
This whole console accommodates all the electronics you want. You know, most people today are using a VHF radio, a video depth finder combined with a GPS.
Absolutely.
And then for the sophisticated guy who wants an autopilot, put a little autopilot on. Down here in Florida, we don't use radar. You can see the rain, you can dance around it.
With the cockpit, Bob, do you have a trolling valve?
Oh, you can troll with this boat and fish with it. You know, this boat also comes with a lower helm, with a helm station down below for, you know, in case you want to take it up north for the winter and travel in cold weather. So you have a longer lifetime of cruising, you know, when you're limited to a certain area, depending on the climate.
Sure. Where can people come and preview this boat, Bob?
Both of these boats, whether they're in 40 cockpits or 43 cockpits, or we make them in a 50, we have them at Salverall Harbor on PGA Boulevard in Palm Beach. And we also have them up on our Stewart location on Monterey Road, right by the Palm City Bridge. Both in the water, ready for a sea trial.
Price-wise, what are we talking about?
From the 40 cockpit motor yacht to the 50 cockpit motor yacht, you're around $200,000 to $500,000.
Well, Bob, thanks so much for having us on the show.
Okay, it's good to be on again.
Well, that's all the time we have for today's show.
And make sure you tell all your friends about us.
See ya.
Thanks, guys.
If boating's your game, then you'll agree. Ship shape is the way to be. Out on the lake or on the sea, ship shape means trouble-free. Ship shape means being neater. Ship shape makes boat work easier. Ship shape is the way to go. The Ship Shape Boat Care Show.